It is almost time for the 2021 Release Wave 2 for the Power Platform and Dynamics 365. For the European region, the deployment is planned for the weekend of 16-17 October. Following my videos from last year, as well as earlier this year in April, I am here to show you some of the features that will be implemented, changed, or removed by Microsoft by default. I want to emphasize that I will focus on changes that will be available within all Dynamics 365 model apps. So I will not go into new features specific for Dynamics for Marketing, customer service, or any other specific app from Microsoft. Where it's possible, I'll be showing you an impression of how certain new features look like after the update, either enabled by Microsoft by default or turned on by an administrator in your organization. Just like last time, I will use two CRM environments. One in which Wave 2 has been enabled, which you can recognize by its green navigation bar color, and another one where it has not yet been turned on, recognizable by its default dark blue color. This time I will be showing you both systems next to each other. So on the left side you have Wave 2 enabled, and on the right side it has not been enabled. This way I think it's much more clear to spot the differences between both systems. Here you can see a global overview of what I will discuss in the video and in which sequence. You can always come back to this part of the video to find certain timestamps in which I discuss specific features. First, let's have a look at advanced search within Lookups. This is something that was added earlier this year, but had to be turned on by an administrator to be available. In this release wave, Microsoft enables this by default. Let's have a look at the current behavior of lookup fields. When you search for something generic, it's not always clear which result you would like to select. When I search for Microsoft, it is hard for me to pick the right account based on the information given. I can switch to another view, but it's not clear to me which account I want to select. Now this lookup field is already a very advanced field, so I could find records based on other fields than the name field, such as looking for a phone number or a city. You will see all information as defined in the view that you selected. If you want to see more information, you can select the record and then navigate to it. The downside of this is that you will navigate away from the record you are working in and have to navigate back manually. With Advanced Lookup, we get the same results, but instead of being able to switch to another view, there is an Advanced Lookup button, which opens a pop-up window in which information is presented in a clear way. Based on this information, I am able to select the right record in a few seconds. A big benefit here is that if you're still not sure which record to select based on the information you see, that you can open a record without losing the context. If I search for Microsoft, based on the information provided, I cannot make a decision. So here I can open the record one by one to see which one I need to select. All other functionality, like switching views, showing only your own records, and creating a new record if you cannot find what you are looking for, is still there. The way I see this is that most of the time you will just find what you need from the lookup window itself. But in those cases that there are too many results in your screen, it is nice to know that there is an intuitive way that presents you with much more information. The advanced lookup will also be very useful in fields where you can select many records, such as the to and CC fields in an email. Next up, we have an addition to the filtering of a grid view. It is now possible to add, remove, or rearrange columns of that view right from the grid view. You can see the addition of the column filter button in Wave 2, which is not present in the current release. This button gives you the possibility to rearrange columns from the view, but you can also remove and add fields to it. These can be fields from the table itself or from related tables. Once you are done, you can apply the changes and will see your customized view. This can be used for exporting to Excel, or if you are looking to create a permanent view, you can save the view as a personal view. It's like creating a personal view from Advanced Find, but then directly from the main interface. Another small change within views is within the subgrids on forms. It is possible to reorder the columns with drag and drop, or using the Move Left-Right button. The system will remember the setting for that view on that record for your user. When you refresh the browser, the view will be set back to the standard order. I do not see the benefit of this yet, but I do see this as something that will be improved and useful in the future. Let's head over to the next point. This is one of the more visible changes and might need some adjustments by your administrators. Microsoft will remove the form footer. I have to make this window a bit wider to show you the footer as you all know it. Within the footer, you can open the record in a new window. You can see if a record is active or inactive. It includes a little save icon and also shows you that there are unsaved changes after you change something. But a footer can also contain a few fields that you defined yourself, and if that's important information for you, you must reconsider how to present that to your users. You could move these fields to the header or place them in a new tab on the form itself. In the new interface, the footer is gone, as you can see here, but the functionality it offered is still there, however in different locations. The button to open a record in a new window is located here at the top. The status of a record, if it's active or inactive, is now handled differently. If you do not see any notification at the top of the screen, it means that the record is active. As soon as a record is inactive, or in case of an opportunity won or lost, it shows at the top of the screen, as you can see here. The unsaved changes message has been moved to the top as well, here behind the name of the record. The indicator switches between saved and unsaved. Finally, the little save icon should not be needed anymore. The save button at the top should always be visible. Something that relates to this is that the ABC navigation option in the bottom of grid views is removed in the main grids. Perhaps this is temporary, but for now it's gone. The next point will introduce a new unified interface dialog for mass editing records as well as sharing records. The current interface of both of these is heavily outdated. If you look at the current bulk edit experience, you can see that this interface does not fit into the product anymore. The new interface looks much more integrated in the product, showing you the form as you normally see it when editing one record, including all tabs. Even better, you are now able to switch between all available forms for that app, which makes it easy to find the field you are looking to update. A similar interface is provided when you share a record. In the current version, an old interface pops up. In the new version, there's a new unified interface dialog experience. The functionality is still the same though. You find the user or team to share the record with, specify which privileges they should get, and share the record. In my previous videos, I explained the difference between categorized search and relevant search, and expected that categorized search would become deprecated soon, but not this soon. After the update, there should only be one global search option left, and that is relevant search. I received confirmation from Microsoft support that this is indeed the case. Only relevant search will be available, and they also rebranded the name to Dataverse Search. Be sure to test this out in a test environment to see if you can still find the results you depend on. For example, Dataverse Search won't look through number or date fields, as it's a completely text-based search method. If you want more information, you could check out my Wave 1 video from earlier this year. Finally, some small changes that you might have already noticed. The hyperlink markings that appear when you hover over clickable fields, which open a record, are now visible by default, which improves visibility. The scroll bar has been updated to make it more in line with other products like Microsoft Teams and Microsoft 365. There are some changes to the fonts in the column headers, and also the checkbox when selecting a record has received an update. The way you pin a default view has changed as well. In the current version, you pin a view by selecting the pin icon next to the view. With this update, you now first navigate to the view you want to pin, and then select Set Current View as my default. If you want to reset the default view, you can select Reset Default View or directly select another view as your default. The next two changes were not communicated until recently. It seems that the blue plus icon, to indicate that a field is recommended to be filled in, is no longer visible, and the same applies for the tooltip description that appears when you hover over a field. According to the release notes, these are both removed and will be replaced with a new appearance in April of next year. And finally, the way warning and information messages are displayed will change. In the current interface, an information message will be displayed with a yellow background, as you can see here. In the new update, it will become transparent. And the warning message, which is red in the current interface and really stands out, will become yellow, as you can see here. I hope this gave you a good impression of the changes to model-driven apps, and hope you will enjoy them as soon as they are released. If you have any questions about anything mentioned in this video, you can reach out to us via one of the following contact options. Everything we do is focused on making our customers loved by their customers. We believe that the only way to do that is to be personal and relevant. By using the right technology and creating the right mindset, we help organizations throughout Europe to become customer engagement companies. Together with our customers, we work on the deployment, implementation, and adoption of Microsoft technology. CRM Partners has offices in Barneveld, the Netherlands, and Frankfurt and Munich in Germany, and is part of FellowMind. FellowMind employs 1,750 employees across more than 35 offices in 6 European countries. From this group, 355 fellows are now working across 3 Dutch cities. It is our ambition to guide our customers on their journey into digital transformation based on 5 key service areas, being customer engagement, optimized operations, cloud infrastructure, modern work, and data and analytics.